Welcome back, everybody. Episode 74 of White Claw Wednesdays coming at ya. Check what I got going on here, buddy. Boom. Boom.
Is this? Oh, now you're showing me it itself instead.
I've got
last
the
time
entire pack here.
Okay, yeah. Last time you just had the pineapple ready to go, but now you're showing off the whole box. Nice. All right, let's give it a crack-a-lack. Ooh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
All right, little digital cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
What
Dude,
is that? Is that the
Blackberry hits, bro. Blackberry hits hard,
Blackberry, man. Dude.
Yeah.
I love that purple, man. Damn.
It's so sick. And
Yeah,
you wouldn't
that's really
think,
cool.
like, blackberry sounds kind of like the bad grape, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, blackberry, bad grape. But it's actually really good.
Damn. Yeah.
Nice shirt, man.
Oh, thank you. Feels pretty good, you know?
Wait, hold on. Let me get my Lakers jersey. One sec.
Dude, speaking about Lakers jerseys, Tristan, after the Lakers took a 2-1 lead,
yeah.
Tristan bought an Anthony Davis jersey because he recently started working at Heroes in Riverside, and it's a big sports bar. And
Yeah.
he was joking that there's always a chance to like avoid work, like if you're chatting about sports with either the customers or the other employees.
Really?
And yeah, so it's kind of like a thing where like you can wear like your uniform can be a sports jersey or whatever.
Yeah.
And Tristan was working with a lot of Laker fans, and he was riding the hype of those back-to-back wins. Games 2 and 3 where Anthony Davis dropped 34 in both.
Yeah.
And he buys a jersey, and then Game 4 comes around, and I actually watched Game 4 with him, and the Suns handled business, and then went out from there, and he gets his jersey like the day after the Lakers got eliminated.
Oh, so he ordered it. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty good karma. I gotta say.
Well, I should have waited till next season. Got the new jersey or something.
Yeah, really. But it's just funny because like he bought it at the moment of the series
height,
where the Lakers were like, okay, we got this. Because I was really feeling like after those first 3 games and the Lakers took 2 and 3 back to back, and Anthony Davis just went off.
Yeah.
And then Game 3 ended with Devin Booker and Jay Crowder getting ejected.
Yeah.
It started to feel like, oh man, we're gonna like like we don't.
Things
got
are falling
this.
apart.
Things are falling apart exactly, and it all turned around in Game 4. But and of course it has to do with Anthony Davis, getting injured. And I figured I kind of saw this coming. If the Suns won, there would obviously be excuses for the Lakers fans. But that's just the kind of the franchise the Lakers are, is that, when you have 2 of the best players, it's just kind of a built-in excuse when they're not healthy to be like, yeah, that's why we lost. And, I can't even argue with that excuse in a way just because of how bad the Lakers were without Anthony and LeBron. So I really, when people make that point of like, oh, if it was a healthy Lakers, it would have been the Lakers that would have won the series. And I'm like, yeah, there's really no way to know that. But all I know is the Suns won the series, so it's like, that's cool.
Yeah. And you know what I told you? Obviously, I'm disappointed, like Lakers are my team. But what text did I send you right after? I think it was the day after. I took like a day to process, and then I sent you a text.
What did you send me?
I told
do you remember?
I'm rooting for the Suns now, dude.
Oh, yeah, you're rooting for the Suns now. I do remember you saying that. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's what
So
I like to hear.
I'm so excited for you right now that the excitement that I have for the Suns outweighs the disappointment that I have for the Lakers,
Yeah, that's good.
Like, I'm riding this Suns. Did they win? They won last night.
Well, not last night, but the night before, yeah.
The night
they
before,
won. They
okay,
won
okay.
Game 1 against the Nuggets, and Game 2 against the Nuggets is actually tonight. Yeah.
Oh, right
Wednesday
on.
night. Yeah.
Right on.
Wednesday night, Game 2. Big time game,
Did you
Especially after Joker, Nikola Jokic on the Nuggets, they lose. The Nuggets lose Game 1 to the Suns on on Monday night, and then Jokic gets awarded the MVP yesterday, and he does the media, all the interviews and stuff, and he's like, oh, the MVP, it's like, whatever, I just want to win a championship. So now this is kind of a big game for the Suns, for more than just, it's game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals, but it's also the fact that the opposing team has the player who just won MVP, and it's kind of like the immediate game of like, okay, now I got to prove why I just won that award in a way,
Yeah. I'm surprised he got MVP, actually. I don't know. Maybe it's just I don't pay attention to the Nuggets that much,
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what it is. But, yeah, he was averaging 26 points and 8 assists per game, and he played every single 72 game. He played every single one of them. So that was the big reason why I think he ended up winning the award in the end, because he had just as impressive stats as, say Curry or Joel Embiid. But the difference was the fact that he played every single game, which is he just seems
impressive.
like that kind of player, the way he plays and just the way he's built. I mean, I don't want to jinx him or anything, but he feels injury. I mean, he feels and looks injury proof. When you watch him.
How's your confidence in this series? What are you thinking?
I'm very confident.
You think you're going all the way now? Well, so you
I don't think I don't think that for sure. I mean, obviously, my prediction as a Suns fan is I think it's going to be Suns and Nets in the finals, and I'm very worried that is going to end only one way. And not only is it going to end only one way, but leading up to the beginning and the ending of that final series potentially, every single talking head in the sports world and every single schmuck with a phone is going to be saying, oh, the Nets this is just easy. This is going to be a wash.
Yeah.
But I also think there's going to be, at the same time, a general energy of, I don't think the Suns have a chance, but I'm also rooting for them all the way. I think that will probably be the general public's feel, is that, wow, this is kind of like Thanos with all the Infinity Stones up against freaking Hawkeye, Like, I really hope Hawkeye has an arrow in there that can, handle shit. But
that's like a nuclear bomb. That's what Hawkeye would need.
Yeah, exactly, to take on Thanos one-on-one. Yeah, even then. So,
what was his role in that last fight? He just had it.
In Endgame? He just had it for like once, like after the initial explosion. He had and he was running with it. All the all the little Thanos minion alien thingies.
Yeah, that's funny. Hey, isn't off topic here, but isn't Loki, isn't it coming out?
Yeah, I actually watched the first episode today. It dropped today.
Oh,
first
nice.
episode did.
Okay, I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, it's really good. Oh, I like it a lot. I might be biased because they put Owen Wilson in it, and they gave Owen Wilson a big part, and it's just really working for me. And I also like it's really cool what Marvel's done with this one, because they've immediately stepped above everything they just built with the 22 movies or whatever leading up to Endgame and finishing with Endgame. Like, they pretty much just said, okay, yeah, that's nothing. Like, once you watch it, like, I don't want to give away it's pretty much the big reveal of the end of the first, one of the big reveals of the end of the first episode is, pretty much completely wiping away all the power and removing all the gusto from everything that, the Infinity Saga built towards, in a way. It's kind of just like being
they're completely changing it.
It's really like, it really changes the game. This first episode, you're like, okay, wow, we're really doing this now. Like, we're about to really jump
buckle
off.
Buckle
yeah,
up.
because it's like building up to Endgame was almost kind of just like walking across the diving board and getting to the end, and now this Loki show feels like we're now, jumping off and diving into some seriously, like, really now I think we're really going to be taking, like, almost, comic to screen in the truest way, in the sense of we're going to be, multiverse. I'm just going to say it, that's where we're that's the pool I'm talking about diving into, is just getting super nerdy with it, and yeah.
Yeah. Is it more like Thor Ragnarok type vibe? Is that the vibe we're seeing?
The tone.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
tone. I would say the first episode kind of felt like an Iron Man 3 tone, in that it was sort of
Okay.
like, whoa, this is like this is something new to this character, and they're very, thrown out of their element, and it's more of a serious feel, because this character feels, the main character you're watching feels so uncomfortable, kind of like how
Yeah.
Tony Stark, lost his suit of
Yeah,
armor
yeah.
in the third movie, and was dealing with the aftermath of the aliens and Avengers and stuff. So yeah, no, I really recommend it, and I think it's already looking like it might be better than the previous two. The Falcon, Winter
Sick.
Soldier, and WandaVision. So
Sick.
yeah.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I'll have to watch it. This is one of the shows that I really didn't, I guess, follow the trailers and stuff like that. Like Falcon and Winter Soldier, I definitely did. WandaVision, I did. But this show's kind of coming out of left field for me in that I don't really know what to expect or have an idea. So I'm excited to give it a watch.
Did you watch the Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather fight?
No, I didn't. I definitely didn't.
Okay.
But I
You know
watched. I know the outcome, and
Yeah,
I
the
got
outcome.
a vibe. Or I got information on how it happened, or like how the fight played out.
What's interesting about that whole thing is the fact that I was able to watch really good highlights early in the morning of, so the fight was on Sunday night. And
Yeah.
So, and I woke up early on Monday just naturally, and I'm like, oh, I did my thing where like I searched for the fight without reading any of the text of the videos.
Yeah, your little trick.
So I do my trick. So I click on this highlight video, like 10 minutes or so. No idea going into it. I pretty much watch, the highlights of the fights, all the main hits and all that kind of stuff. And then you fast forward to Monday night, and I'm trying to show Sam the highlights of the fight, and every single video that we're finding, every single one we click on is heavily edited to remove all the punches that landed. It was
really? Why?
Doesn't that sound super weird? It's like Showtime spent the day of Monday scouring the internet of free videos that showed the highlights of the fight. Because highlights of a fight is when the punches are landing.
Yeah.
The videos that Sam and I were clicking on were just the moments in the fight where they were hugging, which, as a lot of people would probably say who watched the fight, that was a lot of it was hugging.
That was the narrative. Yeah.
But I watched the highlights early in the wee hours, less than, just, a handful of hours post the end of the fight in a way, because the fight's taking place in Florida, and it's so it's like I'm early in the morning here, so it's like the fight hasn't happened so that long, so they haven't had time to do their internet freaking edit. So I was able to watch these blows, and I mean Floyd dominated for sure, but I mean I guess it's impressive when you say that Logan went all 8 rounds with him, like that. Like that's
it's an
cool.
impressive feat. I mean, the guy
but
had
he's
to
just
train
so much
hard.
bigger than him. He's so much bigger than him.
Yeah, it's definitely. It just goes to show how important size is when it comes to fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so crazy the fact that these fights are so big now. Like Mayweather versus Logan Paul. Then we have his brother versus. Tyron Woodley, which I'm really excited to see that fight.
I'm excited to see that.
I gotta admit, for that fight, man, I want Jake Paul to win. I really do. Like, I want things to start blowing up right now. Like everyone's counting on Tyron Woodley to basically just beat him up because he's an MMA fighter. He's actually a real fighter that has experience in boxing. And I want to play devil's advocate and say, yeah, I want Jake Paul to win. I want this kid to like make everybody pissed off, I just want to see where that goes. Like Daniel Cormier's comments, I want to know what he would say. You know.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. And it's kind of that sort of reminds me of what we've been getting with them in a way. And that's why I think a lot of people are, might take the side of, oh, all their fights are rigged, because it seems like every time they get in a ring, I guess with the exception of the whole Logan Paul versus KSI fight, but I think that was different just because they're both YouTubers, and I don't think there was any sort of potential. Like, I find it less believable that someone rigged that fight in a way, because that really felt like two YouTubers fighting. But when you take like Jake Paul versus Ben Askren, or Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather, like the people were raising the questions of, are these guys that the Paul brothers that they're fighting, are they customizing the way they handle the fight to make more money in a way? You know, because a great point that goes to my whole comment about Showtime editing the internet and removing, videos and clips of the fight that they don't want out there for free. I found this video that was like 6 seconds long that was posted by this little sports highlight YouTube channel that's super small that I recently discovered. Like, I discovered them when they had 10 subscribers. Now they have 100. Like, they're really small, but they posted this 6 second clip and it was captioned, Floyd Mayweather knocks out Logan and then holds him up.
I saw that
and keeps him from falling
Instagram.
down.
Yeah.
And I clicked the little 6 second video, and it's pretty much, Floyd just landing a mean right hook, and then Logan, it looks like Logan just goes cold and hugs Floyd and just has his head just resting on him, and Floyd is holding him up, and then kind of does this shoulder shimmy where he sort of shakes Logan awake,
and then he goes like this. He shakes his head, and he's like, whoa,
he shakes his head, and it's like he comes back and he comes out of the hug. Yeah. And I saw that and I was like, holy shit. I immediately liked the video. And then when it came time for Sam to be like, oh, I want to watch the highlights, I was like, oh, before we watch the highlights, let me show you the 6 second highlight too. Look.
It was gone.
And then it's gone. And then we start looking for highlights, and you can't find any of the hits that landed. I'm
Copyright claims, man. Yeah, you can't post that. You have to have rights to it.
I know, it's just funny, but
doesn't it suck?
Yeah, it sucks. So
do you ever see those? Do you ever see those highlights where the camera's constantly shifting where the screen would be to not show any of the promotions and stuff? It's so funny.
Yeah. So seeing that little clip of what looked like Logan Paul getting knocked out and then held up by Floyd to pretty much go the 8 rounds makes me think that there's some incentive in Floyd's contract to where he gets more money for the Showtime exhibition because it goes the distance, and Floyd being I'm not a boxer anymore. This is what he said. He's like, I'm not a boxer anymore, and I'm now an entertainer. So if this kid, he refers to Logan Paul, this kid wants to fight me, then and I can make him a lot of money off it, then I'm gonna do it. So I see it as a very likely thing of him knocking him out and just holding him up for a second, even if it's not even planned. I'm not even saying that Logan was before to Floyd, oh, you make more money if we go all the way, so obviously if you hit me, help me out, bro. And they're like, oh, right. I'm not even saying that happened. I'm just saying Floyd could be so talented just as a moneymaker and a boxer that he's able to beat up Logan Paul in the ring and keep him up and pretend like he's still up. There could have been there was so much hugging going on. There could have been more times where Logan was out cold for a couple seconds and came back. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to diss Logan or anything. I mean, I'm just saying that it's impressive that they were able to have an 8-round fight where they were both hitting each other and neither of them went down. And that's weird. That's weird when you're looking at a dude who's way bigger fighting one of the greatest boxers of all time. It's like one of these hits should be working because you're so much bigger and you're way better at this.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell he wasn't technically adept at all. I mean, there's this one highlight that's going around where it's the one point in the fight where Logan is actually pressing and he's just swinging, man. He's just
he's
arms flailing, just going in on Floyd Mayweather. And, I mean, he's getting some good shots in, but it looked like it's what I would have probably done, just start just start swinging. Like there was
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
all the training went out the window. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Floyd Mayweather is literally one of the best there ever has been. And when you put him up against Logan Paul, it's actually a good matchup because Logan Paul is like 20, 25 pounds. I don't know what the final weigh-in was, but
Yeah.
he's heavy. And because of that, Floyd Mayweather is at a huge disadvantage. And
big time.
And he's also old. So you got to factor that in too, right? But I really wonder if that was like an incentive of theirs, like, hey, let's try and go the distance, because it's got to be. It has to do with probably TV promotions and like advertisements and stuff like that, right? The more DAZN, the more DAZN can run, the more they get paid, right? And therefore, the more the fighters get paid. But I would assume that if Mayweather actually knocks out Logan Paul, he would get paid more. That would be my.
Yeah, no, I would assume the same thing for sure.
Because if you're talking about highlights and like clicks, that's what you click on. You don't click on a fight that goes all 8 rounds and there's a bunch of hugging, which is kind of like what happened.
Yeah.
If you get a headline, Floyd Mayweather drops Logan Paul, boom, I'm on that. I'd probably watch it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, but it was just. It felt like the rules almost were set up to have the result that happened. Because it's like, okay, there's no judges. It's going to be an exhibition. Yeah. But knockouts are allowed.
Right.
So right there, you immediately have this thing where it's like, okay, so the only way that we'll know who won is the person who gets the one who delivers the knockout. Right. That's the winner. Like, that's how we determine it. So immediately you're like, well, shit. So this could end with no winner then.
Right.
And that's what makes it a little suspicious to me, is that the rules felt like it was set up for neither of them to have to lose and neither of them to have to win. It just ended up being a way for both of them to make money, which, I mean, I didn't buy the fight. Like, I just used my YouTube don't read the words technique and I was fine. But I just think of all the other people who spent money on the fight, and I just feel like I got to tip my hat to Floyd and Logan potentially. Like, you guys don't tell me the truth, you don't have to reveal it to me. I already know, but you definitely just finessed a whole lot of people out of money for a fight that I don't think neither of you really planned to win. Yikes. I just said it.
Frank is dropping bombs out here.
Man. I mean that though. I really do.
I think you have a big point, honestly.
Yeah.
I think you're spot on, actually. Because, like, what's the point of not having judges? Like, what is the thought process of that?
Exactly.
Like, oh, you don't have to pay them, but that could be the only logical conclusion. The other conclusion.
Think
is,
about
hey,
all the other people that got paid though to do that event, though, to put on that event. It's like,
seriously,
you could pay some judges.
Yeah, imagine being like an event planner and you get set up for them, and you're like, oh wow, what does the world come to?
Yeah, for real though. But no, I think the Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul will be just the next step, the next step in Jake Paul proving himself, because he beat Nate Robinson. Everyone was like, oh, that's just an NBA star, doesn't count. Then he beat Ben Askren. Everyone's like, oh, all he knows how to do is wrestle, and he looked like he was in terrible shape, which he did. And then now he's fighting Tyron Woodley, who, like, in his I'm assuming, just based off what I've seen in like little Snapchat stories, the quick little Tyron Woodley highlights I see are of him just throwing haymakers and just knocking dudes out in the octagon.
Yeah.
So clearly he already has that boxing emphasis in his UFC fights. So, but
he's known to be a boring fighter.
That's interesting because we have another stepping stone that Jake now needs to take, even if he beats Tyrone. Because even if he beats Tyrone, it's like people are going to be like, he's kind of a boring fighter, and what, he's not even a boxer, so it's just like
it's not still aggressive. Yeah,
it's like Jake, I think this, but I just think you're kind of doing the stepping stone thing, which I see and I understand what you're doing, but I think Tyron Woodley is the last step that you're going to take in your boxing career, where I assume you're not going to be fighting a real professional boxer, unless you continue to fool people or find people who are down to get beat up by you and make a ton of money off of it. I don't know if you're going to be able to keep doing that.
I think, okay, here, if he beats Tyron Woodley, which I actually think he might, I know that sounds crazy, but I think he might. I think he does. I think he actually tries to get into boxing, but only still in the exhibition, like money making aspect, where only big fights. Not like he's gonna try and be a professional and work his way up through the ranks. Like no. But yeah, I really think that he has a good chance at beating him. I mean, Tyron Woodley's lost, I think,
his last 4 fights or something.
Yeah, I think so. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on him, man. I mean, everyone wants this guy beat except for me and you, apparently. So, I have a feeling he's going to crack under pressure, basically. Way too big, for him to handle. Because the level of confidence this guy has is insane. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. And he is sort of building his whole rep on being hated.
That's his motto, yeah.
Yeah, and I like it a lot, too, because it's like he has all these fans, too. And I don't know, are we technically his fans? Like, I don't actually support him in any legitimate way besides being like, yeah, I kind of dig his whole, piss the world off thing. It's kind of funny. Like, I was watching this comparison of, like, it showed Jake Paul when he was doing, like, he was cutting a Disney Channel promo and, back in his early stages of his career, and he's like, you're watching Disney Channel, and he does the wand thing and draws a Disney, and then it cuts to him in that video he made where he was calling out Conor McGregor, and he's like got a cigar in his mouth, and he's got the Irish flag over him, and he calls he calls Conor McGregor's wife like the C word in the video and stuff, and it's just it just it's just a hilarious meme because like you just see Disney Channel of this, and it's the most intense jump. It's very funny, but I think that's part of the reason why both Jake and Logan have been able to do this rise to fame, starting with their whole Disney Channel thing. It's because they started in Disney Channel and they were really, had that bad boy energy already probably then, and they were just like,
they were iffy for Disney Channel.
Yeah. I think one of them got fired from Disney Channel or something
I'm pretty sure
for doing something on the internet that was against the law or some shit. I think it was
that's
Jake.
Like Jake Paul's thing, he's like,
yeah,
oh, you got beat by a Disney Channel star or whatever,
Yeah.
How do they make their money? I mean, was it just YouTube? That's how they blew up? Were they Disney Channel then YouTube, or were they YouTube then Disney?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't really know which one came first. I just know that they were both a main part of it,
Dude, imagine that lifestyle, though. Like, I can't even fathom that. But every day you're making a in-your-face, get with the program video, just loud and obnoxious, like that is your life. And it's just crazy, man, and it makes you millions,
Yeah, I love them because it's like I know what they do, I know why they piss people off, because I mean, I assume this is my assumption because I get the same feeling, I don't let it lead to me like being like, fuck you. I lead it to being like, damn, dude, wish
respect.
I had that.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, I love that.
Well,
dude.
it's like this weird form of respect, It's like I would never do what you do.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna hate on what you do, but I get it, and I can respect the grind,
Yeah, but I don't even want to use the word hate. I really like to use the word. I really like to use the word jealousy, and I know people are like, but that's kind of a negative too. But like, I just think of the Drake line. I've mentioned this before on this podcast, but
yeah,
I think of the Drake line. Like, jealousy is just love and hate at the same time. So, that's why I kind of like to use the word jealousy when I describe how I feel about the Pauls, and like a positive jealousy, And it is emphasized, and the example of this idea is all in that chain that Logan was wearing when he was walking out to the ring. He had, the first edition holographic Charizard Pokemon card in this, iced out glass box, and he had it in like an iced out chain around his neck. And I look at that, and I just, I think of the tragic loss of my card when I had that card as a kid. But I see that and I just get jealous. I'm just like, man, I want that. Like, that's fucking cool. Like, it's just, I see him do that and I think like, holy shit, like I would do the same thing. I would do the same thing. And that's kind of where the jealousy comes in. It's like, I love that so much because I would do it, but I also hate it so much because I'm not the one doing it right now.
Yeah, but you don't even have the opportunity to do it. It's like one thing is like the personality. It's like, I could never do that, be that, confident and just strutting through hundreds of millions of people, all of them booing me, and me wearing a iced out, what is it, Charizard. Diamond Charizard, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a level of mentality that I can't even fathom. It's like I kind of want to be in his brain. Like, what are you thinking right now in this moment?
Yeah, that's a good. I like that. Yeah, what are you What are you thinking right now in this moment?
Yeah.
Also, I would know what I would like. That would be a fun simulation. Like, that's kind of like what Total Recall is in a way. The movie idea of going into a machine and then the virtual reality of living someone else's life,
Yeah.
Because that's next level virtual reality is like when you can step into like Steve Jobs' shoes and then walk out into like an Apple product reveal and feel what it's like to like know what you're unveiling, like the intricate workings of the technology that's just wowing everybody in front of you. Know what that, it's just, and you can apply that to any, famous person ever. And it's like, what is that moment in their life? What would my brain go through? What would the thoughts come, what thoughts would come to me if I was in that scenario? That would be incredible virtual reality.
Dude, have you ever watched the reveal for the iPhone that Steve Jobs did, the first iPhone?
The first iPhone? No, I haven't.
Oh my God, it's incredible, man.
Is it awesome?
He is just so cool in this reveal, and it's so awesome to go back and watch it because, I mean, the iPhone's just so iconic, and the way he went about it was, he's like, we have this revolutionary new product, or 3 new revolutionary products, and then he goes through and he's like, in internet, like an internet browser. I don't know. He said internet something, right?
A Safari?
Yeah, Safari. That's what he's referring to. He's talking about Safari, and he's like, it's internet, and like, check it out. And he's like doing things on Safari, and it's like super quick, and everyone's like, whoa,
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, a phone, and he's like making calls on the phone. He's like going through the voicemail and doing all that. And then he's like, an MP3 player, or an iPod, and he's got his little music thing. And then he's like, these 3 revolutionary products are going to be, amazing, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, and just to reiterate, we have 3 revolutionary products. And he keeps repeating, a phone, Safari, iPod, a phone, Safari, iPod. And he does it like 3 or 4 times. And then the image just pans back, and it's like the iPhone, and it's like turning, and it's just like, whoa, dude,
and it's kind of like like the 3 things I've been talking about is actually one thing.
Is actually the one thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh man, just so iconic, man. And I definitely didn't do it justice, especially because I couldn't remember what the fuck to say about the internet. But
no, but I know exactly what you mean, because it's kind of that applies what he did with that, press release. I mean, that product release kind of summarizes what the miracle of the cell phone in 2021, and that, whether or not you have an iPhone, if you do have a cell phone, it's, probably at this point 99% likely that it's also like a mini computer.
Oh,
and also
a
mini
computer.
Also a mini record player. It's like it is those 3 things that he was like did that, like that's what has become the standard cell phone, is what he first introduced all the way back then, which is what makes it pretty impressive.
Well, just think, I mean, some of these iPhones that are coming out, actually they've been coming out for a while with the 256 gigabyte memory.
Yeah. Oh man.
My computer has 128. My computer. So it's like, I mean, this is my personal computer, my laptop. But like,
Dude,
just
that you
think
say
about
that,
that.
holy
Yours
shit!
is
Like
the same.
I'm
Yours
yeah.
is not. Yeah.
There's now iPhones that have more gigabyte storage than my computer.
Isn't that crazy? They don't have the battery life, the same battery life.
Yeah.
But,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Or the ease
And-
of like, or the big old screen.
Yeah, I mean, there's
the
pros
keyboard.
and cons to everything,
Yeah,
But I mean, it's just incredible, and obviously storage is just one component of a computer, but really, really interesting thing to think about,
Mm-hmm.
And now they're coming out with, I think I saw, what is like the maximum phone storage that you can get? Is it a terabyte?
I mean, 256, whatever you said, sounds like the highest I've heard.
No,
You know,
they're way higher now. Let me look this
I
up
have
right
64 gigs, and it feels like the size of, the moon to me in terms of how much space I
now. Yeah,
got.
I have
So,
64 too.
yeah. I don't even think I'm halfway on it yet, and I feel like I have a lot of music downloaded. So, I mean, yeah, but then again, that's not video. The videos is what, having the movies downloaded is what takes up the
Oh
space.
no, maybe 256 is the max.
250. I mean, that sounds like
What is the newest? It's 11 or 12.
the
Shit,
newest
what
iPhone is
iPhone?
12. The newest iPhone is 12. Yeah,
Pro Max storage.
12 Pro. I don't know if it's called a Pro or Max. I get the. it's gotten too confusing.
I'm looking this
256.
512, dude. You can get half a terabyte now. That's
512 gigabytes.
insane. Yeah, that is just insane,
Holy
man.
fuck, dude.
That's 3 of my computers. No, 4 of my
Damn.
computers.
Yeah, and that's funny to think about because like
Jesus Christ.
when the Xbox One came out in 2013, there was a 500 gigabyte version. You could get like
Mhm.
the terabyte console, or you could get
Mhm.
the 500 gigabyte console. And
Yeah,
now
yeah, yeah.
there's, you fast forward 8 years later from that point, and there's cell phones that have more storage than the. Damn, dude, that's
It's true.
whew, man. I mean, I bet 5 years from now there's going to be a terabyte phone.
Oh, well, did you know that there's oh yeah, there will be. Did you know that there's a worldwide chip shortage right now?
Like cell phone chips?
Like processors in general.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So a bunch
Wow.
of there's actually like legislation coming in because, everyone needs processors, I mean,
Yeah.
you're building pretty much anything that is doing some sort of computation. You need some sort of processor. And I think there was just a couple bills that were being talked about in Senate about it too. So it's like a big deal. And they're trying to bring process manufacturing to the United States, which right now it's all in China, of course. Or majority of it's in China. So kind of crazy, man, Like you'd think everyone would be freaking out over something, but something that's important, like food shortages or something like that, but nope.
Yeah. We're
Those
talking
damn
about computer chips.
processors, man.
Yeah. Huh. Ryan, have you been to an event that's been maskless yet?
I have not been to a maskless event, no.
Maskless? Well, dude, I was at a bar in San Diego last week.
Oh, nice.
And, oh my God, it felt like COVID never existed. It was
Hey,
incredible.
man, when the alcohol starts flowing and everyone's loosey-goosey, yeah.
Yeah, but like, Ryan, I'm talking like, this felt like a music festival at a bar type of crowd. And
Really?
there were like, nobody, I mean, the employees were wearing masks. The employees
Yeah,
were wearing
yeah.
masks. But none of the customers were wearing masks. I mean, including me, because, I'm not going to be some freaking
Yeah.
loser.
Frank had some serious FOMO. Missing out on that fresh air.
Whatever the general crowd is doing, I want to do that,
It's so
That's-
true, though,
That's
Isn't
usually where I tend to go. So it was very. I'm not. By the way, I'm not bringing this up to complain. Like, oh my God, it's establishment. I'm bringing this up to be like, it was fucking awesome. Like, it was awesome.
Let's go,
And-
man. I'm
and
ready
I
to
also
be
just-
done with this.
just Yeah, exactly. And I think like I felt super comfortable being out there, with my 2 shots of my vaccine,
Right.
and I wasn't even worried about other people without their vaccines. I wasn't worried about them.
Yep.
I was like, you do you, I do me. Like we're both maskless here. Like let's have a good time. Like that. I just think like. I think that might start being the general attitude that we carry out with this whole COVID thing is like, I see it at the Utah Jazz game last night against the Clippers, game 1. Jazz Stadium, freaking packed. I mean, I'm talking like, I feel like I'm watching a game from, 10 years ago or something when I'm watching the Jazz Clippers last night because they have just this thunderous noise every time a shot or a block is made, and they're even doing the color-coordinated shirts in the sections of the stands where this section got free yellow, this section got free orange, and there's not a single mask around among these fans. Like they're just having just a great yelling, spitting time. Oh man, it's just
good time to be alive, man. Just coming out of this pandemic, and I can't wait to get my second shot because then I'm gonna really be like, I don't know, Free Willy or whatever. So
yeah,
dude, I'm looking at our coronavirus cases right now, and
they've gone down, right?
Well, California had only 1,000 new cases yesterday.
And what, like 35 million people live in California, right?
Am
I right on that number?
No, that's way too high.
Dude, look up population of California right now.
Okay.
And I want to know how close it is to 35 million.
I think you just named the population of the USA.
No way.
Population of California. California population. Oh my God, 40 million. Holy hell.
Yes.
Nice, Frank.
I mean, I was still 5 mil off, but I wasn't like embarrassingly off,
Yeah, like me. Population in the United States. Oh, that's right. Population in the United States is like 300, right?
Yeah, 300 mil, I think.
All right, let me check this right now.
Which, if the population in the United States is 300 mil, then over 10% of the United States lives in California.
332 million people in the United States.
Yeah.
Holy hell. Oh my God, this website's awesome. It's got one birth every 7 seconds, and then it's got a little bar that's like a loading bar, and it just keeps ticking the clock. Boom. A baby was just born.
Wow. Happy birthday.
Cheers. Cheers. Oh my God, another baby was just born.
Another baby. Another happy birthday. Same birthday. Hopefully they run into each other at some point.
Oh, man, someone just died, dude. Shit.
Oh, yikes. Hopefully they
do this all day.
One. Yeah, exactly. Dude. It's just like, what is this website called? Let's plug them.
This is the census.gov. And
census.gov.
It's called Pop Clock for population clock.
Pop Clock. You know what?
Dude,
I think I remember watching that clock in AP government in high school.
You're thinking of the debt clock. That's what you're thinking of.
Glad you took that class so you could correct me on what it was.
That one's scary too. That one's
that one is.
Whoa, that number's going fast. You know?
I remember when Mr. Booth pulled that up. I immediately was like, "Oh, so money isn't real." Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, what does it even mean? You know?
Exactly.
You're in like 8th grade and you're trying to fathom how to fix it, and the number just like it's just like doing laps around your entire life salary or something. It's crazy.
You're going to a school where the restroom is free and the drinking fountain is free, but you're looking at this number that says, "Wait, our country is $11 trillion in debt." It's like,
yeah.
Why am I allowed to drink the water fountain?
I'm gonna go this debt clock.
I don't know. Okay, debt clock time. Here we
go. U.S. debt clock, real time. Oh yeah, dude, just a beautiful sight to behold right here. 28 what the hell? Is that a trillion? That's $1 trillion.
I think it is a trillion.
Trillion. $28 trillion we're in debt. What is it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, see,
debt doesn't matter. Let's be real.
When I made my joke, when I made my 11 trillion joke, that was really the number that popped into my head from when I looked at that in school. So, that's like
Yeah.
5 or 8 years of just going the opposite direction, pretty much.
This is national debt.
It was not that high when I looked at that counter in school.
Oh yeah.
I would have remembered that because I'm pretty good with the numbers. So, that thing has increased a lot. Wow.
It's
not
kind of crazy, huh?
I see. It makes sense because I'm in Carl's Jr. I'm looking at the old sign of their food items back when they first opened, like 35 cents for a burger. And now, you look at the modern menu and it's, fucking $5.35 for a burger. It makes sense. It's just natural inflation. You there, Ryan? Just having some technical difficulties there? You're buffering? Well, I think we should probably call this and before we lose all connection here, because we've had a couple moments of like
we've had
a couple frozen moments where I've
by
been
the
really
way,
terrified.
Me too. For everyone, Skype kind of screwed us last week, so that's why our video was all off.
Sorry about us freezing on ugly faces for the whole video.
They did a really good job for the past like 3 or 4 months we were remote. So give them another shot here. We'll see how this video turns out.
Give them another shot. Yeah. All right. Well, 74 coming to an end. Thanks for listening, everybody. It's been fun as always. Thanks for liking, watching, commenting, subscribing, all that stuff. We love you. Episode 74. Peace out.
74. Peace out, everyone.